Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. That's right, it's Coach FreeLove. We're back, another installment of Firestorm at Home, and we hope you're ready for your workout today. It's episode 11 of Parkour. I'm very excited. One of the few things that you're going to need today, not just is a clear and open space for you to do your workout, but is a broomstick. It doesn't have to be a flag like mine, but mine is here actually so you can see the direction that my broom rotates, because we'll need that for some of today's bar skills. That's right, it's a bars day. Broomstick means bars. We're also going to need just a few pillows. So if you guys have got some couch cushions or pillows and possibly even a blanket or a long skinny body pillow, those are going to be super helpful. So broomstick, pillows, a blanket, doesn't have to be a big one, a little one will work. We're going to toss that off to the side for right now. We've got all of our furniture moved, we've got plenty of water, and we're going to get started with our mobility and our warm-ups. So, strong forward stance. As you guys can see, I'm barefoot. Today's episode, we won't need our shoes. But strong forward stance, nice and wide, chest is up, chin is up in a neutral position, and we're going to keep our posture, roll our chin down and around and across our chest from shoulder to shoulder. Just like that. Keep it going, guys. Nice. And let's stop there with our neck and start with our shoulders. We're going to lift them back behind us into a nice pinch and then lift them up over into our earlobes and then push them down and around in front of us. So big circles, big shoulder shrug and pinch and lift and circle all the way around. Going forward now, and I'm going to stop here on my shrug and let's go backwards for the next few. Say it in every episode, I'm going to say it again right now. Don't forget to keep breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, right? So in and out. And in, and out. And keep your breathing going nice and smooth and consistent. Stop there with your shoulders. We're going to move on to our elbows and our wrists. We're going to put our hands up and out like cactus arms. We're going to make our hands come down towards our chin and chest from our upwards position. So up top, then down low, and you go all the way around for our lateral arm circles. Don't forget to keep breathing. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Keep your elbows up at the height of your shoulder or as best as possible. Keep it up in general. And stop there. Let's go opposite direction from cactus arms. Going out now to a full extension out here. Then tilting that arm and bringing it underneath my elbow. Nice. You should start to feel a little bit of a burn, a little bit of a warm up in your neck. That's going to mostly be in your traps, in your neck, and a little bit in your back and your shoulders. All right, good. Going ahead and give those a break. We're going to interlock our fingers. So lace all of them together, nice and tight, and roll your wrists out. We're going to use our washing machine method here. So I'm going to do a few circles going one way, and then a few circles going in the opposite direction. So back and forth with our wrist rolls, just like that. Keeping a tight squeeze and almost trying to press the heel of your hand together the whole time. Nice. Go on ahead and shake those out side to side, just like that. And then flap them up and down, just like that. Awesome. So our upper body is mostly taken care of. Moving into our torso, just like we do every time. Nice additional widen stance. So I go about 2 times my shoulder width, right? So now that I'm a little bit wider, I'm also a little bit lower, and I'm going to twist nice and slow, getting all the way to the max of my ability to twist. So I'm going to twist as far as possible, through the hips, through the spine, in the chest and shoulders, twisting through my elbows, reaching with my hands, and then after I get to the max, I count it for 3 seconds, and then I untwist and go back the opposite direction. So get all the way over there. 3, 2, 1, and untwist. Just like that. We're going to do that once more on each side. So I'm twisting now to my left for 3 seconds to get all the way in there to the max. And 3, 2, 1, untwist. Opposite side now. So this is my right. Finishing up my torso twist nice and slow. Hitting my max. 3, 2, 1, and untwisting. Nice. We're going to do our momentum twist now. So just a slightly faster twist using the arms to help engage that action. So twist and look the direction of your twist as you pull across your body. Awesome. So your torso should be mostly warmed up and taken care of, meaning our head, neck, shoulders, elbows, wrists, and spine are almost all done. Now our hips. That's right, everyone's favorite, hula hoops. Just go ahead and really take a nice and slow approach to this movement. Really curl and roll the hips. Nice and slow. Try and isolate the spine. I'm going to try and keep my chest, everything above my hands in place. Really turn through the hips. Emphasizing the very, very, very base of the spine and specifically those hip flexors. Let's stop there and go the opposite direction. Nice job, guys. So keeping this hip circle nice and strong for just a few more rotations. Again, isolating the upper body, trying not to let it move as much as possible. Nice. Good. Stop right there. And we're going to go into a squat. So keep that stance wide. And in that squat, we're going to lunge to one side. You can use your hands to assist you. And keeping our body low and level, we're going to lunge to the opposite side. As we lunge, we lock those legs in that extended position. So locked out, and slide back over, locked out. Now when we do this lock, our bent leg is going to get pushed open, just like that. We're going to go back and forth. And if you would like to, you can widen your stance just a little bit bigger. As you can see, I'm keeping my whole movement nice and low. I'm not standing up too tall through the middle. Keeping myself balanced and engaged the whole time. Nice. Let's stop there in the middle. And we're going to take one hand, we're going to turn it down, fingers in towards the inside of the knee. We're going to turn our body to match. So I'm turning my left hand, so I'm going to turn my body to the right side to match. Boom. And I'm going to push and twist my torso. Nice. Come on out of there. Do the same thing now on the opposite side. So right hand turns to the left, torso turns to the left. Press the inside of the knee. Good, and come back on out of that. Now, we're going to put those feet and knees together. Go ahead and stand yourself up. Walk your legs back in. Yeah, that's great. Feels good. So, feet and knees together. Just a few knee circles in each direction. I'm going to go 5. That's 4. And there's 5. Opposite direction now. 5 circles. All right. And shake them out. Last little bit that we need to go through is our ankles. So, take a small lunge, 1 foot in front, 1 foot in back, so you guys can see here. Bend that front leg, lift the heel off the ground, and make some circles with the heel. You're going to go a few circles in each direction. And I'm switching now, my opposite direction. Good. Let's switch legs, and don't forget you have to go both directions on both legs. So I've switched legs now, lifting that heel and circling it out, going clockwise currently. You're not leaning back here, just kind of flopping my foot around. This is not the right way to do it. You want to stay leaning into that front foot just enough that that leg has got a job to do. When those muscles are active and they've got that job to do, they're forcing blood flow through that space. Let's go the opposite direction now. We counterclockwise now. Good. And we did talk about it just a little bit earlier, but what you're going to want for today's class is, well, a broomstick if you've got one. And if you don't have a broomstick, you can use something like a blanket or a towel or a jacket. Like I can even use my sweater currently, in the sense that I can grab a hold of a part of that or all of that fabric, and I can pull it tight to act as if it was like a stick, to act as if it was a broomstick. So my hands are wrapped around that, I can pull it tight. So now I can use it the same way that I would use my broomstick today. Though for one of those tosses that we're going to do, and one of those wrist and arm workouts, having something rigid like a broomstick is going to be so much more helpful. And honestly, almost impossible without. So if you have a broomstick, best option is broomstick. That being said, not absolutely mandatory. You'll maybe miss out on a little part of the workout today, but I'll give you an optional workout that you can do if you don't have a broomstick instead. So I'm going to toss that sweater off to the side, get started with my warm-ups. We've done just all of our mobility. We're going to start with a nice light jog in place. So go ahead and start jogging in place. Nice and low impact, stay light, especially if you're on the second floor of an apartment. But that being said, be considerate of your space. Share the space with your family, your siblings, your pets. Share it as appropriately as possible. Nice. We're going to stop there and start with our jumping jacks. So into pencil position, we're going to jump up. Get in a big triangle position with our body, where we become a nice big triangle. Alright, going ahead and give that a stop there. We're going to switch to our stationary monkey crawl drill. Some of you may or may not remember this. It's okay, either way. We're going to go over it real briefly. One hand, opposite foot, out in front of your body. The opposite appendages of those ones, the ones that are in, should be back and in. Notably back and in. Right? So, out versus in. Right? Now that we've addressed that, we're going to pick one set to put in front of us. Like my left hand, left, and my right foot. And now I'm going to switch on switch, right? Not on 1, 2, 3, go. On the word switch, starting right, lift. Now, listen for it. Switch, 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 extra challenge, hand to toe, just like that. Switch, 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 switch. Doesn't have to be that way though. Switch, 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 and let's go into a light jog. Nice. That is a pretty fun workout. Gives you a chance to really use a lot of the body to incorporate the reach and the balance and that reverse reach. It's a lot. And there's a lot of parts that are moving to think about. And it's a great workout for your brain in that same sense. Don't forget to keep breathing, guys. In the nose and out the mouth. Keep that jog steady. And let's give it a rest. All right, I am parched. Oh my. I need water, as do all of you. So please, I'm going to hydrate. Take a moment, go hydrate, and grab a handful of pillows. The longer your arms, the more pillows you will want for today. You'll need at the very, very least 2, probably 3. Okay guys, so grab a handful of pillows, a blanket and a broomstick, and a drink of water. So, we are just coming back from our water break, getting ready for another awesome installment of Firestorm at Home. That's right, it's your boy, Coach FreeLove.
Back.
Sick. So we had a couple technical difficulties just now, but it seems like they are all remedied. Awesome. Shout out to Summer. Thank you. Tech Wizard, Supermaster over there. Great. Thanks. Now, I was just saying, at the start of our water break, before you guys took off, that you would need a couple of pillows. If you guys are sharing space with your siblings, like if you only have like 3 pillows, take turns, share the space. But if you have like 3 pillows each, then you guys can set that up. No matter what though, for our very first workout that we're going to talk about, no sharing the broomstick. That can get real ugly real bad. In fact, I'm going to do my first workout standing up. This gives you and your siblings, if you guys are sharing the same space, a chance to do it back to back. So you can have your arms out back to back like that. Now, the first skills that we're going to go over are your tap and regrip. If you guys have ever done laches or bar swing technique, one of the things that you know is that bar swings can be challenging. There's a lot of people that will often swing with bent legs or without using a proper tap technique, using what we refer to as a basic swing. And so all of that is fine and dandy. There is just more powerful technique. It does come from gymnastics, like a lot of our stuff does, like round-offs or cartwheels. So keep that in mind when we're doing this part of class. If you have had a gymnastics background, you may have a bit more of an advanced familiarity with this, and that will help you. If you guys have done your swings for a long time, this will help. Now, first part of that you should know is your regrip. Anytime that you're swinging on a bar, right, if I'm swinging, my hands are slowly starting to peel off the bar as I swing. And the thing that helps me to stay on the bar is my ability to move my fingers across it, back over it, and grab it. So what we're going to do is take that broomstick, and I have my flag, so you guys can see that it's rotating backwards nice and slowly, right? And my goal here is to rotate that backwards with my fingers in my hand, just like that, to get comfortable with that You can go thumbs over the top or thumbs around it. I like to go thumbs around it if I can reach, right? And once we get a little bit more comfortable, let's go thumbs over the top, and we're gonna try and toss the bar, just like that, right? And I am working out just a little bit, very tiny workout in my forearms and in my hands by flicking through my wrist and rolling the bar. When I do this, I'm practicing the act of releasing and re-grabbing. And that's what your re-grip is. So when we talk about a tap and a re-grip, we're talking about the act of swinging on a bar, swinging back to when you get weightless, and re-gripping on that bar by using that same technique. So one more time, if I'm swinging on a bar, I swing forwards, I swing backwards. When I swing backwards and I get weightless, I'm going to re-grip on that bar, right? And so using this workout here, and just go ahead and get in there with your broomstick. You can stand back to back with your sibling, and just spin that broomstick. Nice light toss. Do not turn, don't twist, don't smack each other. That's not the point right now. Try and keep the bar as level and in place as possible. If you can even, try and reach up, out, and do it almost like a zombie. Because this is, at the peak of our swing, about the spot where we actually do more often than not, use our re-grip. So, go ahead and stop with your re-grip workout drill for a second. We're going to use that in just a little bit. We're going to set down our broomstick. As you guys can see today, I don't have a yoga mat. I am going to be using about the space that a yoga mat would otherwise use. Nice straight space like that. I'm going to go get 2 pillows to start. We've got a couple of couch pillows that I think are going to be super helpful for this workout. Now, I'm going to set them just under my neck and head. And when I lift my shoulders up, I lift my arms up, the pillow should go underneath my shoulder as well if it's under my neck. So if I put my arms up, all of this space here is where that first pillow is going to go. So I'm going to have that one set up just like that for there. Okay? Then, my second pillow is actually going to go kind of towards my heels, underneath my feet. I'm going to put this one back over here so you guys can see my feet. I'm going to lay down with my broomstick. Like I said, we're going to set it down for a moment. I'm going to lay down with my broomstick. I'm going to put that back down under my heels like I was saying. We're going to talk about our 2 swing body positions. We talked about our tap, but now, we talked about our re-grip, right? But now we're going to talk about our tap and what it takes to swing and tap. So a basic swing is where we're starting here in this laying position. We lift our head, shoulders, and upper body up off this pillow, as well as our heels. We go into a hollow. That is our hollow body position. Excuse me, kitty cat. So we're going to go on ahead and hold our hollow off those pillows for just a moment. So reach up, hollow. Good, and relax. Now, I'm going to reach, and if you guys are in that same spot with the pillow under your head and shoulders, like I was, your hands should be off the floor. I'm now going to reach my hands towards the floor and drive my feet into the pillow and lift my bottom up off the ground. So I was doing hollow, but now I'm going the opposite direction into an arch. So, you guys, we're going to try and hold our arch the same way that we held our hollow. For just that split moment, we're going to hold our arch. So get your broomsticks ready. Make sure you're not going to smack anything important or valuable. And now if you guys have siblings, you guys can lay feet here or feet here with your head and chest over here and another broomstick there opposite you. So you guys can lay next to each other and share some of that same space, right? And we're going to do that arch and hold. Just hold for just a moment. Squeeze. make your body go the exact opposite direction of that hollow and relax and rest. Whew. Okay, so those are two of the most important positions that you need for any swing. We're going to talk about one more. That's going to be your pike. Okay, guys? So we're going to be lifting our toes and that bar towards each other for our pike. So bringing the bar up, not just the bar though, but also my head in with that. So this sort of sit up with my upper body, as well as a kick up or a pike with my lower body and my legs. So I'm going to reach those two items, my hands and legs, towards each other by folding at the waist. Now you don't have to toe tap the bar, but it is a good demonstration of your ability to pike up or to V up, right? So I'm going to go pike up as best as I can. If I didn't make it, I made it there to a V up. That is okay for right now as well. Okay, guys? So our goal is either to pike up or V up. So there's my V, and there's my pike. So that's just a little difference. Now, we talked about three positions you're going to need. That's your hollow, your arch, and your pike. We also talked about your regrip. That's your hand technique that you're going to need when you're doing an actual swing. We're going to leave that off to the side right now. We're going to do a series of 2 workouts that are designed to teach you how to do tap with the right process. Now, if I was swinging on a bar, and I was swinging, I would go hollow swing to the front and arch swing to the back. Right? So if this is my hollow swing, my body is rounded in the front, and then my arch swing, my body is rounded in the back. Now, where does your pike come in? That's a very good question. It is a very brief moment after your arch. So if we're basic swing, like this, going forward, hollow, and backward arch, back and forth like that, a basic swing we use to build up power. Very good to build up power. Then, for when we're doing very big laches or lache de precision, stuff that's level height, we need to do a hollow, arch, and then a big old pike after our arch, where we push, if this is our butt, we push our hips and our butt way up into the air, and then we kick our feet back down under us into a hollow. So, Coach, that sounds like a lot. You're right, it is. We're going to do 2 series of ab workouts. So we're going to do the basic swing, and then we're going to do the tap swing. So our first ab workout, I hope you guys are ready. Basic swing is going to be just 2 parts. Laying and ready, bars in hands. We're going to go hollow and hold, and arch, and hold, and hollow, and arch, and hollow, and arch, and hollow, and arch, and hollow, and arch, and hollow, and arch. Okay, so we're going kind of fast, and that's okay. If we're just barely building up power, our hollow and our arch are going to be very close to each other. It means I'm going to be at the bottom of my hands just swinging little swings like this. That's because I only have a little bit of power. But I start with little power, and then I pick up to bigger swings, which means that our extension and our hold in each direction will slowly get longer. So, we're going to start again. So reset, and let's start again. And I want you guys to follow at my pace if you can. So we're going to go hollow, arch, 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 and let's rest for just a moment. And so I would like for you to imagine that what we were doing was, again, small swings. If this is our body here, we were doing small swings that got bigger and bigger, doing our hollow and our arch. And you can see it would take less time to go back and forth here in small ones than it would take for us to go and do those bigger movements. So that is why that rhythm or that pace change. Whew, that's why that happens. Okay, guys? Now, we're going to switch it up, make it a little bit more interesting. If, like I said, we were doing tap swing, which is the second series of workouts we're going to do. Catch your breath, take a second from that previous set of workouts. We're going to talk about tap swing. If this is where your hands grab the bar, and the corner of our little flag here is where your feet are. When I swing hollow forward, I swing arch for just a moment, and then I push my hips up, almost as if I'm going hollow, but now I'm going nearly to pike. Then I extend almost all the way out to a hollow. Now you can see, if these are my feet, they went from under the bar, back, to up and over the bar, and now I can swing into my hollow just a little bit more. So there's a lot that happens, but the three major parts are going to be a hollow hold from start to finish. So that's going to be our start and our finish, is our hollow hold. Then we are going to flex that up just a little bit, so a tight squeeze like we're doing our pike, and that's going to be our kick into our swing, and we're going to hold that slightly up. We're going to imagine that we're now swinging backwards even further, and what we're going to do in our backswing when we go even further is pike even tighter. Then we're going to extend, and that's going to be our arch, and then we're going to go into our hollow. So we're working out our tap swing in this pattern. Hope that was enough time for you to catch your breath. This next one's going to be a little bit more intense than the last. Hands on your bar. Ready? We're laying down in a neutral resting position. I have my heels ready on my pillow. Head, neck, shoulders are ready on my other pillow. I'm not smacking any of my cool stuff, my cats either. And now that I'm secure in my space, I will go to my hollow hold. And then I'll lift just a little more. And then I will pike and arch and hollow. And now there's just a little bit of rocking momentum that my body catches that you guys can see. So I'm going to do this sequence one more time, nice and slow. It's going to be just a hollow and a little lift, and then a pike up, then an arch, and hollow to stop. Woo. So that's a lot of movement happening in our torso and in our back, and then when we do that pike up, it's a lot in our quads as well. So we're using a very large chunk of the center of our body, and it can be very exhausting. Your goal here is to get all of those key positions and to get your body to a point of muscle memory with those positions. So we're going to do just a few more times together, but these are things that you guys can hold as workouts or jump in between like we're doing now. So resting, hollow, and lift, and pike, arch, hollow, and lift, and pike, arch, hollow, and lift, and pike, arch, hollow, and rest. All right, that's 3. Just doing 3, I feel that that's honestly way, way, way more challenging than a swing has ever been. I'll tell you what, all of my actual bar swings and tap swings are way easier than that workout we just did. We're going to go ahead, take that as something that you guys should keep in your little memory vaults. Remember it, don't forget it, and practice that when you get a chance. We're going to get a quick drink of water and get right on back. Oh man. The water sure is refreshing. Thanks, boss.
You're welcome.
That can be really tough. There's no doubt about it. We're going to continue to work on about the same part of the body. We're also going to add our arms into the equation a little bit more, and actually our glutes, so our bum just a little bit too. We're going to be practicing our cast. So the first skill that we were practicing today was our regrip and our tap. Using our broomstick and a couple pillows, we were able to practice all of the body positions necessary to pull off those skills. We have an awesome tutorial for tap and regrip. Justin goes really, really in depth on how to actually do it on an actual bar, which I currently don't have the means for, and I don't think many of you have as well. So if you guys don't have it, you can still watch it, check it out, so that way you can learn it and then do these workouts and pairing with that. So episode number 60. Sorry, tutorial number 60. That's the one that you guys are going to want to take a watch. Tutorial 64. That's right, tap and regrip. Now, next one is your cast. Cast is going to be a really cool, fun one. We are going to need just another pillow if you've got it. And like I said, a body pillow or a neatly folded blanket if you have that. So if you have your blanket, great. That's going to be super helpful. We're going to end up laying that over the bar because we're going to be using that. But first things first, we're going to get our stack of pillows. I have a body pillow that's going to help me out a bunch. I'm going to use that as the bottom of my stack. And that's actually, my body is going to lay running in the same length as that pillow. Now, I'm going to stack those other pillows towards the center of that, just like so. Now I have somewhere that's a little bit more elevated for me to put my hips. Last thing that I'm going to need is the bar. Now, in theory, the bar would start, if we were doing actual cast, I'd be on the bar with my hip bones. And this can be a hard spot to work out that movement. So we're going to start with the bar under our long pillow, or if you guys have a folded blanket, put your folded blanket as a pad over the top of your bar. We're going to be rolling our chest into that space there. So, as you guys can see, I've got my stack for my hips, and I've got just a slight pad over where my chest is going to roll over that bar as I'm starting. I'm going into a seal stretch where my hips are up on the pillow, and now I'm going to rock from my seal down into a scorpion, right? And since I'm on this little slope, it helps me to rock my hips up. The last part of that is a push-up. So if you guys don't have a push-up, this can be very challenging. We've talked about our push-up a lot of times. So if you guys haven't practiced it in previous episodes, or you haven't been practicing it during this time that we've been kind of at home with not much else to do, then it is a prerequisite that you should have for this skill. So push-up. If you don't have it, have it. This skill is technically an orange rank skill. So that being said, it's a little bit more advanced. You should be okay with that as we are this far in our series. Okay, guys, keep that in mind. We're going to be putting our hands on the bar, my broomstick, as if it were a bar. Press my hips in towards my hill of pillows. And now I'm going to rock it and lift myself up, doing that push-up after I get on my chest. So again, just like that. So in my seal stretch, I'm going to rock down, press up through my arms like a push-up as much as I can. And I'm going to continue that pattern, but now, to make this more true to my cast, I can take the bar and slowly slide it back and further back, so that eventually that my hands would be in alignment with my hips in the most padded place here. So I'm going to put the bar back about halfway now. Seal stretch. And rock and lift. And come back right away. That cushion's going to help to save us and give us the chance to pop our hips up. And we're going to do it just a few more times, trying to get that push up to a full extension if you can. It will be tough. As your feet are not on the ground, you're doing a no-legged push-up. So, again,
Nice. Now, moving it back a little further, you can see there is actually a line in my carpet from where I started and where I moved back just a few times using that broomstick all the way back to now where my hips are resting on this mound of pillows, right? So it's a nice, soft, comfortable space, not telling you to do your cast on like the arm of a chair or something where you can accidentally damage furniture or yourselves. Just using a few pillows and the floor and a broomstick if we've got it. If you don't have it, you just slide your hands back. Even easier. So I'm gonna put my hands back towards the broomstick for my seal stretch. Hands are on it, heel of my hand is on it. I can even put my thumb around it if I want to, but I'm gonna go thumb over. So that's how I grab a bar as well. And I'm gonna rock down towards my chest. Press up. Oh man, I think maybe I'll need to take a pillow away, slide one back a little, put my whole body into a better orientation, and now I can try my press up again. Nice. And so practicing that skill, whew, the lower and the lower that we get, the flatter that we get towards the floor. And if we took that whole broomstick away, if we're down here just doing our seal stretch, just rolling up and just trying to press up, because our body gets so low, I can't really lift from that bottomed out position. So having some of those cushions under you really, really helps for the sake of creating a easier position to cast from. Now going back to that stack of pillows, you guys should still have your stack of pillows with you. We're going to add one more part onto our cast to get our feet up and under us is the next part of that. It can be a very, very challenging part of this movement. So we're going to do a small downward facing dog with our hands in near alignment with our pillows. So hands are here, and I'm going to go down like a downward facing dog, and I'm going to push myself out and seal stretch in. And I think it's called like chaturanga. But my goal here is now to go the opposite direction from my seal up and into my downward facing dog, and then back down into my seal. So I'm going to do my roll into my cast, pull my feet up, and then try and push my feet down underneath me. So rolling into cast, pressing up, and then snapping my body into a near pike.
Cast seems basically like a planche on bar.
Cast is almost that. Yeah, it feels like it. That is a good comment. And yeah, in theory, you would end up having worked out those same muscles if you were working out your planche, and if you were working out your cast, you're working out a lot of, again, the same muscle groups. So if it feels that way, it's because that's why. All right, so from our seal stretch, I'm going to roll in, press up, and snap my feet under me. So, oh man, that's really tough. My hands are still way back by my hips. So if I need to make it a little easier, I put my hands forward, back where I was at before I was doing that press and that fold. So, seal stretch, roll in, and press myself up, snapping my feet down under me, then going in, pushing myself back. Now, that movement is probably the most advanced form of your cast. That's where we're finishing after we've done that little bit of scorpion kick with our heel. We're finishing with an extension through our hip into our pike. That can be really, really tough to create in this low environment. So like I said, if you guys have like only 2 pillows, makes it tough. If I have like a 3rd pillow, and maybe strap those things together and they're a little bit more secure, I have my neatly folded blanket. I can go ahead and tighten those into a neat little bundle. Now I have something that's a little bit softer, a little bit more firm, a little bit thicker that I can kind of, all at the same time soft and firm, but more secure, that I can kind of roll and rock my hips up off of. So now it's a little bit bigger. You guys should see a slight change in that seal stretch, that rock, that roll. So laying down, pressing up for my seal. I'm going to rock in, press up, and get my feet under me a little bit more. So that is a huge difference from adding just the one pillow. And then like I said earlier, if you have that fun little extra blanket, you get to use that bad boy too. Now practicing my cast, finishing up with my feet like that, super helpful for stuff like cast to squat or cast to precision, so I can get up on top of a bar. One of the things that we often use our cast for is going into a bigger, more powerful swing. So if I was hanging under a bar and I did something like my pullover or a muscle up, and I got into a front support, I would fold around the bar, like so. I would kick myself out, like we've been doing here, into my cast, and then I would pike just that little bit, like I did at the end of my tap swing. So going from cast to that pike extension is kind of tied into if we were above, like up in an elevated space, I was doing a cast off the top up here and swinging down under the bar. So if I was up in an elevated space and I was casting and swinging underneath, that's kind of where this skill, where we're casting up into our pike, applies a little more. So if we want to, we can use the bar. We'll do just a few more of these swing and lift, cast and lift. So I'm laying down, still stretch. Let's rock and roll and lift. Press up and do it again. Still stretch, find it, press up. Good, rock and roll and lift. Okay, let's do one more together and then move on to the last part of our workout today. So, laying down, found my spot, slowly and slowly, I've been sliding my bar and my hands back. I'm gonna press myself up, rock, roll, and lift. Oh, man, and you can see I'm getting a little bit lower and lower on each one, getting a little bit more exhausted, pushing the bar back, making it more challenging for myself. Whew, awesome. It's a really good workout, and all we're really using is pillows in our upper body. So, very fun time. You guys have that little blanket, super neat trick that's super helpful as well. Last little bit of today's workout, we're gonna go on ahead and take those pillows, put them away. So I'm gonna go on ahead and redress my couch in just a moment and set that broomstick where it goes in the cleaning closet. All right, cool.
Decorated.
Nice, decorated. King of live streams. Here's my flag. Fight me, Justin. Honest Prince of live classes. Boy's a king of live streams. Anyway, so cool. I've cleaned up my space. I'm gonna actually put that back on my broom and use it later to sweep up my kitchen. It's irrelevant, but we're gonna get back into our workout using just that flat space. One of the things that we are going to practice is just that pike up. Pike up is the most intense part of today's workout. And so we're going to specialize and specify our last few movements back on that hardest one. So one of the things that I would like for you guys to do is, if you have a clear wall or a clear space for a wall, we can use that. I'm gonna pretend this is my wall for right now. I'm gonna sit down flat on my back, or lay down flat on my back. So I'm gonna get down there now, tucking into a fetal position where my bottom is near the wall. And then I'm gonna lay, again, turning flat onto my back. Feet are up towards the wall. I'm gonna put my feet up into a nice straight extension on the wall. And from here, I'm going to pike up. Oh, just emphasizing that upper body. Now, I'm sure you guys can hear it if you listen close enough. I flop down and it's pretty heavy. It's not a pleasant time. That's not my goal. My goal is to keep myself close to the wall, so not to push away, so don't push through the wall. Keep yourself resting on it. And then we're going to fold and reach up as close as we can get to it. Okay, guys? So we're going to do just a few of these wall-assisted pike ups, and then we're going to go into our normal pike ups. So get those feet up and reach up. And again, and set yourself down. It should be soft, or you should almost not touch your hands to the floor at all. Up, down soft, no touch. And up, and up, and up, and rest. So, that can be a little bit intense, and I understand. I get why. We're going to take a seat with our back towards our wall now. Again, still not exactly doing our pike up, but working a couple parts towards it. I'm going to sit with my back towards the wall, my hips as close as I could get if this was actually a wall, and as close to it as possible. Now, I'm going to lean into a slight round, and I can use my fingertips on the ground in front of me to just hold myself up a little bit, but I'm going to pike and lift my legs up, tightening up my quads here, way up the top of my thighs. So, I'm going to lift just like that, keeping my hips pressed in, back sort of hollow and slightly rounded. Fingers are not pressing a lot, just a little or just enough to get the lift up out of the legs, squeezing the abs and the quads together. Nice, and it's not a big lift. And then honestly, from this position will almost never be a big lift. So we're gonna do just a few of those together. We're gonna try and get as many as we can in, we'll say 30 seconds. I got 30 seconds on the clock with Summer, and she'll let me know when to stop and start.
And go.
And don't forget, keep breathing in the nose, out the mouth.
Last 10.
Come on, everyone, we got it. I'm feeling the burn, so you should be too.
3, 2, 1, done.
I'd say those are honestly probably just as hard as your pike ups, but they're just a smaller, more controlled movement that really focuses on the fact that we're almost piked already. So if you have trouble with your pike stretch, this is probably where you stay on this drill and the previous one. So there's probably some people that had a little bit of difficulty earlier in class, and if you guys did have difficulty earlier in class doing that part of our tap and regrip for that lesson, it's no joke. I get it. I understand why if you struggle. So these two workouts that we just did using the wall in unison will help you to get this last workout that we're going to hit for today's lesson. So, stepping away from our wall, or your pseudo wall as it were, we're going to go on ahead and just get a few more pike ups in, trying to lift the legs as well as the upper body and the back simultaneously off the floor. Now this does not always happen, but the more that you guys do these workouts, the easier that becomes. That timing is a challenge. So, I'm reaching out and reaching up with both my legs and my arms. And now I'm going to fold and try and meet as close as I can to this 12 o'clock position. Or 1 or 11 will do just fine. So, from my reach, I'm going to go up, come back down. And we're going to try and let's do a set of 10 of those together. That first one doesn't count. Let's go 1. Let's go 2. Let's go 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Nice. What an awesome and pleasant experience. I loved that. I loved every moment of that. Don't let my monotone voice tell you otherwise. That was great. I would have much rather have done nothing with my hour. No, it was a wonderful workout. It's very fun, very cool, very great way to use a broomstick. And now, we're going to go on ahead and get a quick sip of water. Go for it, guys. I'm going to get some of mine. I need it. All right. Keep a hold of your broomstick until the very end of class today. Okay, guys? Thanks. So, we keep it out of range, near you, but out of the way. We're going to go ahead and get started with just a few of our stretches. You know, we're coming down to the point where we're going to start our Q&A, or what's advertised as at about 4 o'clock. That being said, I'm going to give you guys just a few announcements before we get into that. We have a lot going on. All of us, as a global crisis is going on currently. And what we're all trying to do is our best, literally our best. That's all that we can ask you to do. If you guys are going outside, wash your hands, cover your mouth, that sort of thing, right? We're doing the same. We're also cutting back on unnecessary travel, which is why you guys see us here at home. That's because, though this isn't Firestorm, right, the gym, Firestorm is a community. And so part of that community is myself and Summer. And so we extend our opportunities to bring you into our living room, and vice versa. We appreciate you guys letting us into yours. So thank you very much. We appreciate all of you, especially our hardworking nurses and food prep workers. People that are stuck in grocery stores that maybe you know would much rather spend this time at home protecting themselves or not traveling to home and to work and back in an attempt to flatten the curve. So we're trying to do everything that we can. We're a lovely family company. We're a small company, technically. We're just a little family business. And so if you guys wanted to support us, you guys can follow the stream. And you can hit the like button, you can subscribe, you can hit the bell notification. All of that is super awesome. And will constantly help you out when knowing we have all sorts of cool stuff coming. The other things that you can do are, if you're a current member, keep your membership concurrently going. Accumulate makeup classes that you guys can then use in a future opportunity. We really appreciate that. And some of our members that are able to afford that. Many of our members have had to freeze, and that makes it a kind of challenging time for a small business like ours to survive. Very last thing is that if you guys would like to, if you're able to, you can donate to help our business. We are accepting donations through PayPal. So we have a PayPal donation account set up. You can find us by donating through Firestorm Freerunning at gmail.com. There is all of your announcements pretty much. We really appreciate that everybody is, taking initiative and staying at home and doing their best, washing their hands and doing all of that fun jazz. Trying to keep everything going smoothly in the house so that we can all get quickly back out of it. We're going to go on ahead and get started with our stretches in just a moment, but I do want to give you guys a full, updated, reworked timeline and schedule. So for those of you that did not know, we are streaming, that's right, Mondays through Saturdays. Mondays we start with a 3 to 4 stream doing parkour and a quick little AMA, or an Ask Me Anything afterwards, going from 4 to, well, no longer than 4:30 usually ever. Following that on Tuesdays, we have our first Acroflex episode. That's with Coach Summer. That's our first one of the week, right? So we have our first Parkour Mondays, first Acroflex on Tuesdays. We continue in that pattern, where we have Parkour on Wednesdays, but then we also have recently added Little Heroes. So Little Heroes is happening on Wednesdays from 11 to 11:30. Not PM, that's AM. Okay, guys? So get your Little Heroes a lunch workout. It'll be a good thing. Following Wednesdays, we have our Thursday Acroflex from, again, 3 to 4, just like our previous Acroflex and Parkour episodes. And then Fridays, where we have another expansion. We have our 12 to 1 strength and conditioning class. That's where we're just literally working out. Today's workouts were based around, well, a lot of skills. And all of the parkour episodes are going to be based around parkour skills and workouts that you can do to strengthen those skills. Aside from those, the new class is just going to be workouts, like I said. So strength and conditioning from 12 to 1, awesome opportunity to just get a good workout in. Doesn't require much skill at all. Then, from 3 to 4 on Fridays, parkour again. And lastly, on Fridays, 6 to 7, we have tricking, which is super fun, very awesome. episodic experience. And if you guys haven't watched the first episode and made your way through, highly recommend that you start on one and go through them because they are building off of each other. So they kind of expect you in every episode following to have the previous episode's knowledge. So go check out the whole list of tricking episodes. Saturdays, our very last day of streams. We have a early morning lineup. That's going to be from 9 to 10 for stretches for our Acroflex with Summer. That's our final Acroflex of the week. And then we added on a Little Heroes. So you guys get 2 doses of Little Heroes each week. That means we're going to get an opportunity on Saturdays for a 10:30 to 11 o'clock Little Heroes with you. So that is all of your information. I hope that was enough time for you to catch your breath, drink some water. We're going to go ahead and get into our stretches the last few minutes of every class. We're going to stretch and do our AMA. So if you have questions, Summer has had some questions from the previous videos. We're going to go on ahead and do some stretches and answer those bad boys.
Cool, awesome. We're going to do the live ones first, just
Perfect.
because they're right now. I'm going to actually join in with you for the old ones, because some are questions about me. But let's see what's on here. How would you change the mechanics of forward, side, / back rolls if you're holding a glass bottle in each hand on a concrete surface?
So, wow, if you're rolling with glass on concrete, you have probably done this for a very long time. That is the idea. That if you're doing any of your shoulder rolls on concrete, again, butterfly stretch. Sorry, maybe I didn't say it before. But butterfly stretch, flap your wings out a little bit. If you're doing shoulder rolls on concrete, you should have been practicing them for an extended period of time before. That being said, there is a no hands variation for your shoulder roll that you may be able to use. And it is more often than not going to end in a 3-point stance like a martial arts shoulder roll does, where you're probably going to drop your knee as you finish the movement. That's because we kind of scoop our shoulder in. If I'm holding on to something, we scoop our shoulder in to do our roll. And I can pull myself in and maintain that. But that takes quite a bit of practice to do. You should have good familiarity with that angular trajectory across your back. Let's go into a figure 4. We're going to roll our ankle and reach for our toe and take our next question.
Awesome. How can we exploit hollow arch pike while balance walking on a rail?
Oh, well, I mean, if you are standing laterally on your rail, so continue to do your ankle roll in the opposite direction. If you are standing on the rail like this, so laterally and across it, instead of like this where you're walking on it, so here, like we did our precision onto the rail, you can literally just try and practice your balance, keep your weight in the ball of your toe, or in the curl of your toe, and try to do that hollow, and then that arch, and then that pike while standing on it. It's something that I would suggest. All right, switch figure 4, reach and roll.
Beautiful. And then one is, for me, it says, "Hi, Summer," in all caps, so hi, Catalina. And then, have you done an aerial silks one? So, I'm going to pop in front of the camera for this one. I'm going to sit on the couch because you can kind of see for the couch. We have been getting a lot of messages about aerial silks and teaching aerial silks from home. The thing is,
Switch directions.
sorry, a lot of our students and a lot of our friends and family don't have an aerial silks rig at home or wanting to set up one. I highly suggest not setting up one, like a makeshift one at home. One of our real key things is safety for you guys, because we don't want you to be like, yeah, it'll work. Yes, you have a lot of what I call resting weight, which you get on a scale, that is your weight. But when
Straddle,
you are
stretch.
doing, sorry.
Straddle.
But when you are doing aerial silks things and you're putting a lot of force or tension on those bolts in the ceiling, or you might be doing like a small kind of drop, that's a lot of force coming down off of your ceiling. And who knows, if you live in a house, an apartment, a condo, you might not be able to actually put those kind of bolts into the beams. And then usually an aerial silks rig is about like $1,200. So hey, if you want to get an aerial silk rig, that's a really great investment if you are wanting to, improve on aerial silks more than just your time at Firestorm or wherever you train at. But it is definitely a more sound structure than setting up your own. But yeah.
Yeah, so long and short, you guys have manual aerial rigs that you can create, but they're fairly dangerous to create in your own home. If you guys go out and you buy one for your backyard, that's really cool. They're kind of expensive. The materials that you guys are going to need for simply the silks can cost upward of $1,000. So keep that in mind when you're budgeting in for your acrobatic at-home apparatus. There are a bunch of other ones that are more feasible that you can practice, that maybe will save you a little bit of money. There is just a few other things that I would suggest on top of that is if you guys want to do a bunch of aerial stuff, great. There is some stretching straps that you can probably look into that you can use to increase your flexibility, where you would, if I had one of those stretching straps, I would have it literally strapped onto the toe. I could then pull myself in nice and deep.
We have one.
But we don't have it accessible. But I could pull myself nice and deep, and I could use that to increase my stretch like tenfold. Not actually, but like really, it does super duper seriously help you. So increasing your flexibility in the time where you don't have silks accessible, and kind of creating a bit of having that strap rub on your foot, creating a bit of familiarity with that discomfort and that pain, because it is something that you're going to have to develop a tolerance for.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of our acroflex classes, I do focus on, that's why we call it acrobatic flexibility, is a lot of what aerial silks is, or what a lot of people feel like they need to work on, is their flexibility. Endurance is another thing, cardio is another thing, but just flexibility in aerial silks, because there are so many split moves, there are so many flexibility related things, which is kind of why we incorporated acrobatic flexibility, so our aerial silk students can do stuff.
Shoulder stretch.
Shoulder stretch, yes. And then this one's for you, Coach FreeLove. Isn't tricking a six-parter?
So yeah, tricking is supposed to be a six-parter. That is because we are anticipating to the end of what is this, April? So the end of April is our goal. We planned out everything for the 30th. That being said, we can possibly run the stream longer if we need to. That is something that is a bridge we will cross when we get there. We do have more content planned for you guys if we need to do so. Go ahead and slide on out of that shoulder stretch. Good, take a seat like normal, roll those elbows out. So it's planned currently to be a six-parter. It may end up going longer. I may end up extending it. I may end up doing an hour-long video special. No, I'm joking.
Oh my god.
It'll go straight to DVD though. So, do we have any other questions?
Yes, we have.
So, wrist rolls.
We're now going into our old questions, so people who have asked questions while not on the live stream, we still do get to them and we still do answer them.
Perfect.
Shoulder roll and safety vault are truly the eyes of parkour that guide us to safety. The core principle that makes Firestorm unique from others is you guys genuinely wanting to help people to practice parkour even when they get old. A million thanks to Coach FreeLove and Coach Summer. I used to cheat during doing warm-ups, but after watching your parkour and acroflex series, can't help but complete warm-up and post-workout stretch. Thanks to you guys. Oh, it's just a comment, my bad.
Perfect. No, it's okay.
Sweet. Thanks. That's super helpful. Hey, reach out to your friends. Make sure they're okay.
Totally. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, thanks. We appreciate that you guys are doing the workouts and that you're increasing your quality of life and overall fitness abilities. Good job. Super proud.
There we go. Can you give us some valuable insights on spider walk, handstand, push-ups, and what are the key things to be maintained during that? Can you elaborate as the significance of focusing on a point between both thumbs rule when doing a handstand? What's your transition into a headstand in the middle of your handstand push-up?
Okay. That's a pretty long question, and I'm going to answer it as best as I'm hearing it, and you can sort of see the answer. I'm going to start with a pretty clear and solid part about that. I don't often do headstands, and I don't honestly advise that people do them a lot. They're not really a part of your body that's like designed to be used that way. Yes, you can do headstands. Yes, you can make it comfortable. Yes, you can make yourself strong enough to do them. Yes, you can even do it without your hands, and a lot of people do very well with that. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm saying I prefer not to. They cause me quite severe discomfort in the top of my skull, so I just tend to not do so, as well as in the base of my skull when I'm resting on them. Now, if you are doing a tripod or a headstand, and you're practicing a press up to a push up, that's how I would do that. Instead of setting yourself onto your head and neck, where you get a compressive force, I would start in a tripod, then my hands down and my head in. And then I would push myself by kicking my legs up and then adding my arms to that. Summer looks very impressed. She didn't expect that.
I was surprised you didn't hit the ceiling fan, was my honest.
Oh, thanks. So that's where I would start with that. The first part of that question is a little bit tricky, really. So if you're doing spider walk to handstand, the main emphasis is that you want to try and keep a good eye on, or a good push-up form and good distance from it. So if this is my wall, and now this is actually a rotating pole, which can cause me some real issues. But if I'm starting very close to it and I walk up, I'm doing almost a monkey crawl up into my handstand, and then I'm bringing my hands closer, holding myself in, right? But now when I do this, I hold my hollow, squeezing as tight as I can, not my arch. So my hollow is very, very important part of that handstand, spider walk handstand. And the other thing that you'll want to do is to try and take yourself at length, like a push-up. So I started with that monkey crawl to get up. That's like your starter way to get up into your spider walk to handstand. But if you can, you would finish in a push-up and start in a push-up and walk yourself up equally, feet going up, then hands coming in, then feet going up, hands coming in, feet going up, hollowing out, looking up towards your toes if you want, then walking back down. So like, there's a little bit of demonstration and like your key points to focus when you're doing the spider walk to handstand. If you end up at any point doing that handstand, like, and you're walking back and your arms are bent, then you're going to have to, middle of that, do a push-up. So one of the very last things that I'd say is keep your arms straight and to keep your weight stacked as best as you can the whole time. So I keep most of my weight up over my arms, and if my arms ever did bend, I have to then get up from that push up. So if I'm all the way up and my arms start to bend, I'm essentially doing a handstand push-up. Very challenging. So try and keep them straight that whole time. Keep good length and keep good posture. It's a long question.
Yeah. No,
Very long question.
It's super valuable though about all
Yeah.
that insight. We'll do a couple more and then I think we're gonna wrap it up for today. We'll get to more of them on Wednesday with you.
Wednesday is my next AMA and parkour.
We're gonna do 2 more and then we'll call it quits. We've been traveling with you and Summer on these awesome streams for 2 weeks now. We knew only
Thanks,
a little about you, though, the Honest Prince of Firestorm video, and no video about Summer. If you feel comfortable to share about you and Summer and your future goals in this community, we'd love to hear straight from the horse's mouth. Yeah, that video was made, what, 2-3 years ago now? Your Honest Prince of Firestorm one?
Longer than that. A couple of years back. You guys can go check it if you want. It's on the YouTube.
Yeah, so it gets to know the coaches. During that time, our goal was to get all of our coaches in there, but now that we have kind of opened up.
We have something like almost 70 coaches between our locations.
Not 70.
Almost.
We don't have 70.
We have a lot of
We
people,
do.
and so it makes it really hard for us to create a video for everyone, honestly. There's some significant members of our team, like Summer, who's the general manager of Galaxy.
Thanks.
So our biggest gym currently, and she's in the lead position running it. She also coaches a bunch of cool like aerial silk classes, and she's been with us dedicated for years, and she doesn't have her video up yet, just because it's a lot of hard work and the behind the scenes to get those things produced and made. So
Yeah, one of the things is our team is also ever so growing. We now have 3 locations. When that video came out, we were kind of only focused on the one. I wasn't even actually a part of the team when that happened. I did come to Firestorm probably about now 3 years ago, and now I am running the Moreno Valley location. We're opening up our 3rd location once everything kind of calms down, and that will be our Westminster location. So basically, just a little bit about me. I have dance blood running through my veins. all my families are dancers. I've kind of done a little bit of everything as far as the whole acrobatic community. I'm learning a little bit of parkour. I wasn't initially, but Coach FreeLove is, getting me the basics that I need. But I've done aerial silks, aerial lyra. I was a pole fitness instructor as well for a couple years, so hence why we have this in our home. But I've done kind of a little bit of everything. There will be a video out about me, just because we do tend to get to all of our, coaches who are here for the long run and the long running of our company. But it's just one of those things that's not really important. What's really important for us is getting you guys the content, getting our facilities what they need, kind of putting those fun things more towards when we have a little more free time. But since we've been expanding our family as well, it's been kind of crazy. But once we get everything a little bit to where we're good, we'll be producing fun content like that again. So yeah, that's basically me. Our goals for the future, we're also
Keep killing it.
We're also part of the West Coast Parkour Championships, which is a sister company to Firestorm. So that is also us expanding competitions along the West Coast at different parkour gyms. We have an Instagram for that. It's WCPKC, West Coast Parkour Championships. That is our Instagram. So yeah.
Yeah, I think as far as it goes, my only other goal is to just make sure that we keep parkour accessible to other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've done a total now of 11 episodes just in my living room, or on a studio set essentially of a living room. With that being said, everybody used to think that it could be done outside and only outside, but now we're working on it, we're practicing it. We've improvised, we've adapted, we've used parkour as a life tool to kind of get over the obstacle that we are currently all struggling in together. So like that, in that way, I think it's important that we keep parkour accessible to everyone. And so with us having our gyms, having our specially designed curriculum, having all of the community that we have and all of the feedback from our community and how we make growth and how we make adjustments to our business, so that we can keep everything family oriented. I think that is really our goal. Long and short of that is just to make sure that the family can always do the fun fitness, right? That is parkour.
This one is a longer one. I feel like it does need to be said sooner than later, but this is going to be our last question.
Okay.
In boxing, sometimes they use the level up scale, beginner 10 to 15 reps, 1 set daily, intermediate 15 to 25, 1 to 2 sets, and then they list in advanced. As students, we're running blind, not knowing what coach would consider as a level up. Everyone has different bodies and everything varies, but everyone can build themselves up to a goal. Please give as a goal so we can work towards achieving it and checking our progress over time. It would be really helpful if you could give up a level up scale for each or every workout. Coach FreeLove, giving us a constant number, reps, sets, weekly duration would help us be consistent to have a visual goal.
So good note. A lot of that's comment, not question, but I do see what the question is in that.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like you're asking me to give you. Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like you're asking me to give you like a series, because I've done a couple of boxing classes. I've done more martial arts than actual boxing though. But it sounds like you're saying like an easy level would be we're gonna do 10 reps here, intermediate would be 15 reps here, and 20 would be our more advanced. And if you're going for an expert level, we'll say like you're gonna do 30 reps. And the only reason why I'm currently not doing that is because I don't want people to push themselves so much that they miss other parts of the stream or other parts of the workout. So if people are coming in and they're not watching it live, then there's more of an opportunity for me to be like, we're gonna do this, or you guys can do this, and then pause the video here. Because it is archived, people have the opportunity to then go back and do that for themselves. So I like to leave my viewers the freedom to establish their own numbers, and in that way they don't feel like there is some level of disappointment, right? So I tend to say we're gonna do just a few here, we're gonna work out there, and to the point where we get exhausted, sort of in a way that I'm not encouraging too much, I guess, competitive behavior in certain families, certain groups, using a lot of my kids too. I don't want to accidentally be up here doing, a set of 10 that's super easy for me, But for my 7-year-old that's at home who's watching and is trying to do this, doing 1 or 2 is very challenging, and so now he's very, looking at 10 like that's very daunting. And so setting a personal milestone is something that you should do personally. And in that same respect, I think if you are doing the reps with us or doing more than I am, that makes me super proud of you. And if you want to give yourself those personal marks and those milestones, then during a second watch of any episode, or just not catching it live and catching it in post and pausing it and then giving yourself those workouts, that's a really awesome thing to do. And I seriously support that and encourage that. But I am personally, again, trying not to discourage anybody from doing their workout and let them all kind of create their own path to fitness.
Yeah, and I think also what I feel like could be misconstrued of, you heard Coach FreeLove or I say rank up. Firestorm as a company, we have a curriculum sheet for all of our members. Coach FreeLove has it actually where he takes notes on what he's going to go over. So that's what he means by rank up, is that our specific company, our specific facilities have certain skills that our students need to complete and knowledgeably know before they can rank up. It doesn't matter how many, times it's oh, you messed up 1, but you have 2 more tries. It's no, you have to know the skill.
Yeah.
That means you don't need our help with it, that we can just tell you the name and you know right off the bat what that skill is. So with also us archiving our videos and, people who don't catch the live stream, is that, okay, I'm going to, start this first follow through with just very beginner stuff, seeing how your body feels to it as well, just because we are all varying. I know very little parkour. When Coach FreeLove gives me all of our, what we consider our white rank or our basic parkour fundamentals, I am a struggle bus. But
It's
same
tough.
thing with Coach FreeLove, if he hops on the aerial silks, he is a struggle bus as well. So it's kind of like we all have our different things. If you are learning parkour off online, Coach Justin does a bunch of our tutorials where it does list that this is a white rank skill, but at least we have at least a community knowledge from what we've experienced. So these are the things that you need as fundamentals to then work on your more advanced skills.
Yeah, we're we operate very similar to a martial arts studio in the sense that we have white belt, what we refer to as band, and then ranking up, or your belt test, you move on from white to yellow to orange and so on. And so we have a similar series of rank ups that we use, or we refer to it as level ups. It's just a really cool and fun way to get people engaged about making that progress. And currently there's not any rank ups available because I'm not able to physically see a skill and test a skill out. So any of my students that are struggling with skills, all of these episodes, this whole stream, because we can't always practice those, it's dedicated to developing the strength and the abilities that we would require to practice those skills. So if you're practicing those skills with a coach, awesome, because that'll be happening later on. You're going to be able to do these workouts right now. So we have this idea that everyone is progressing at their own level. We would like for you guys to be able to pick your own pace and to set that and to go with it at your own accord, and to share that with us, because that's your journey and everyone is very different, right? We all have our own strengths, we all have our own weaknesses, like Summer with silks, myself with silks, strengths and weaknesses. So we just kind of have to learn our own bodies, and for a lot of the people that are watching the stream, this is their first time going through an at-home fitness regimen. And so slowly adapting that in a positive way is an important part of keeping fitness lifelong. And so, just making sure that we're friendly about it is really the goal. Fun, friendly fitness is really it. Bunches of F's, lots of F words.
But I think that, are you done with all your stretches?
I'm done, we're done. We've just been talking.
So we're just going to sign off. We will see you guys tomorrow for my Acroflex. I won't be doing a Q&A, but feel free to always, comment in the live stream if you do want to, ask a question during it. We will finish up. We have, I think, 3 or 4 more questions that we'll do on Wednesday with Coach FreeLove's Q&A. But for right now, we love you guys. We hope you're all well. Please like, comment, subscribe, thumb up our video, share our video, be like, oh my gosh, Coach FreeLove's so silly, or oh my gosh, Coach Summer kind of shares his story a little bit. Yeah. But anyway, we love you guys. Stay safe. Stay inside. Wash your hands. We'll see you guys tomorrow.